You know what's coming.
Your daily deep dive into everything Utah Jazz.
It's time.
All season long and even in the off season. It's Jazz Daily with JJ and Alex on your exclusive home of Utah Jazz basketball. 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
All right, everybody, welcome back. JJ and Alex, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Of course, it is one of our favorite days in all of sports. 16 games today, 16 tomorrow. Of course, your first rounds of the NCAA tournament. BYU right now in the second half with 13:25 left, taking on VCU as the 6th seed and VCU the 11th seed. And the Cougs right now nursing a 15-point lead, make it 17. As Kebaketa just went back down and came up with it. No, that was Foose with the putback. We're at JCW's here in Harriman, and the Cougs are up 17, 56-39 here in the second half in their first-round game. Utah State tonight, 7:30 tip-off. Last night, the Utah Jazz with a big home win over the Washington Wizards, 128-112. Lots of young guys able to get some nice minutes last night for this Jazz team. Kyle Filipowski with 21 points. Nice in a start for Flip, and 20 points for Keontae George as well off of the bench. And it was a nice night for all these young guys. We're getting a lot of those, and you just want more of those. Joining us on the program right now, he is Big T, Thurl Bailey. Big T, what's going on, man? Happy March Madness to you.
Hey, you know, I always when this time of the year comes, man, I get excited because I'm always looking for that one or two or three underdogs that find their way to move up, and so I'm loving this time of year.
No, Thurl, did the goosebumps come back when you remember that 1983 run and being a part of history? I can't imagine what it's like to every year be reminded of being a part of one of the special moments that we've ever seen in college basketball history.
Oh, for sure. I mean, if you turn on ESPN, they're playing our documentary, The 30 for 30, Survive and Advance, all the time. You know, when that happens, it means it meant something in the history of sports. Mm-hmm. It was an unbelievable run. It was an amazing upset over a great team. It'll always be that way in history. But, yeah, I mean, I probably have the most conversations about basketball, even though it's NBA season. I always get a lot of messages about that time of year, and people are just remembering. Even young kids who've seen the documentary here, I'm just impressed on what they know about it because it was 41 years ago.
You know, it's interesting, too, because we were chatting with Dave Rose yesterday, former BYU basketball head coach, and obviously he was on that.
Hey, my man.
I know, he's on that Phi Slam and Jam. He was the captain of that team, and, you know, I think, it's pretty hard to go into these tournaments and be, such a favorite that a team like Houston was back then. But, you know, this is why we love, these games and playing them. Do you remember the message that Coach Valvano had for you guys, like, in that particular game? Or is everything just a blur except for, like, maybe the championship moments? Do you remember some of the stuff that Jimmy V talked to you guys about?
I remember it all, baby. I remember him telling the media when we made it to the championship game that, look, we're going to hold the ball till next Tuesday. And he said that because of what he knew about the Houston team and what we had seen against University of Louisville in the semis. I mean, it was a dunk fest.
Yeah.
And so he's like, man, we may hold the ball till next Tuesday. And he was really pumping it up as if we were going to just make this a low scoring game and you know, there's no shot clock or anything. So he came in the locker room. He just burst through the locker room before that game, and he just said he knocked the chalkboard over. Said, "You think we're going to hold this bleeping ball? You got to be out of your mind." He said, "We're going to run. We're going to run with them. We're going to keep them from dunking because that's what gets them going, and we're going to have more dunks than them." I mean, it was just the guy was just an amazing motivator and coach. So, yeah, that was our message going out. We were hyped.
Well, and a dunk won it. Obviously, ironically, that was the dunk that did it. So that was, we look on those moments, and we love being able to dip in with you on those things. Let's talk some of this Utah Jazz team. And last night, getting the win, lots of young guys on the court. It's exactly what you want to see. Nice 21-point night for Flip, and Keontae comes off the bench and gets 20 for himself. Nice night for the Jazz. Nice win for the team as well.
It was good. We saw a lot of different things. We saw Walker Kessler take his quota of three-point shots. We saw, as you mentioned, the young players come in and manage a game. Coach Will Hardy talks about course correction. There was a moment there where the Jazz got down and the Wizards started to make their run, and he put a young group in there, and it was nice to see how they handled it and how they countered it. So, yeah, those are the things you're looking for, and they got the win. So, mission accomplished. Filipowski's doing amazing things. He'll continue to do that. I was with Isaiah this morning, and, he's just really exploded on the scene. I'm not sure people really knew how good he could be, and he's going to even get better.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about Isaiah because Will Hardy talked about him after the game last night. And, he mentioned that growing up and even into college, Isaiah Collier basically was able to just play bully ball because he was that much bigger, stronger, and faster than everybody else he played with. You get to the NBA, and he's obviously got to make an adjustment. What are some of those adjustments when you're talking to him? What are some of those things that he's working on now that he's at the NBA level where he can't just rely on those things?
Well, if you went out and bought a Maserati or a Lamborghini, you know what you're buying that car for, right? Speed.
Yeah.
But legally, you can only go so fast. So I think what I'm hinting to is that Isaiah Collier brought with him his biggest asset, which was speed. And it helps you to a certain extent. It helps you when you know how to use it the correct way. And I think in this game at this level, what he's learned is he's learned to control that. He's learned how to slow it down or decelerate, if you will, and see everything. Because a lot of times when you have blinders on and you're going one way, you're just trying to get to the rim. And that's what he was really good at in college and in high school. He's really improved on just his decision-making on the fly. And it's been really nice to see him do that when he doesn't have something that's direct to the rim. And even if he gets by his guy and somebody else comes to help, he's in control of himself enough to know how to make a really good play, and that's why his assist numbers are just climbing.
Thurl, I love watching guys that don't get drafted but find a way to make it in the NBA, and Oscar Tshiebwe is becoming one of those guys. Another double-digit rebound night for him, and obviously the story with him, and especially what he's been doing in the G League, some of the numbers he's been coming up with there are ridiculous when it comes to rebounds. But a 6'8" center in today's NBA, and he's trying to figure out a way to fit into the league. Do you see a way for him to do that? Is the rebounding enough for him to be able to stick in the league? What else does he have to do to stick in this league based on what you've seen from him so far this season?
Well, like I said, he only does it one way. That's the Oscar Tshiebwe.
Come on. You need to get a patent on that.
You better
one.
get a T-shirt made. Come on.
You got to get that registered. That's good.
First of all, he is an amazing young man. I mean, just a pleasant to talk to. If you're in a poor mood and you talk to Oscar Tshiebwe, you can't be in a bad mood anymore. That's just the kind of person he is. He's infectious that way. Basketball-wise, he obviously has been noticed. The Jazz obviously see something in him to be able to bring him in from the G League and see how much of it translates. Now, he hasn't really had a ton of time at that level, but it means a lot. I mean, I think it means a lot for him to be able to go down and do what he does and dominate in that fashion. And, it is mostly rebounding, but, I mean, that's a heck of a treasure to have, somebody who will do that kind of dirty work and also give you second, third opportunities and then score himself inside. So I think his development's important. I'm not sure he's ever going to be that guy who's going to stretch the floor and hit threes. But when you look at what Paul Millsap was able to accomplish when he came here as, the NCAA's best rebounder for, 2 or 3 years, he was able to develop his game. So, Oscar has a future somewhere at a high level. And whether it's in the NBA long term or whether it's overseas, he's going to be playing basketball for a long time.
Big T, Thurl Bailey joining us, of course, television broadcast right alongside Craig Bolerjack on that SEG television network. And Thurl, let's ask you a little bit of something that's near and dear to your heart. Not that you're ever, not involved in the community, but another way that you're involved in the community is this is your Jam Fest you do, the Thurl Bailey Jam Fest. That's a 3-on-3 basketball tournament. Tell us a little bit about it and how people can get involved in this thing, man.
This is our third year, guys, and it's been an amazing ride. It's the Jam Fest 2025 3-on-3 tournament and block party. And I've always loved 3-on-3 tournaments. Just growing up and going through cities. I went up to Spokane and watched what they do at Hoop Fest up there. And it's a great community event to build other things around. A lot of the younger kids, they didn't know much about their father's street ball, their father's 3-on-3 tournaments outdoors, because, a lot of the 3-on-3 tournaments that came through Utah, they came from out of state, and they set up in a parking lot, and once they were done, they left, and there really no residual effect in the community. So we wanted to be different, and we've grown our third year. We had to move. We were over by the Karl Malone Center and the Lehigh Pool. We just grew out of it. So we're expecting about 200 teams this year, a little over 600 or 700 players, and maybe about 3,000 spectators or more, because there's so much else going around. And we've moved to the Lehigh Family Park, which is an amazing setting. So if you go to jamfestutah.com, you can sign up for different things, whether it's to play, whether it's to volunteer, or whether it's to sponsor. And we just have a great time, and we've got dunk contests, we've got shooting contests where we give away some pretty cool prizes. So you two should put a team in. All you need is one more. Well, you better recruit 2 more.
Look, I'm the guy that'll be there at the pool party with the belly flop. You know me. That's what I'm gonna look. You said there's a pool party. That means I'm gonna be there for that. So it's all
levels.
good.
We got different levels of play, too.
I love it. Yeah, 118 teams, 17 different divisions, almost 1,400 attendees in this one. This is going to be a lot of fun. So you just go to jamfestutah.com. It's easy enough to sign up right there, get a team together in the division that you want, and then there you go. That'll get you going. So Thurl Bailey, Big T, on with us every week, chatting about this Utah Jazz team, and of course, always special to be able to jam a little bit about this Utah or this the NCAA tournament as well. So
hey, guess who I'm picking? Guess who I'm picking for the tournament, baby?
Tell me.
Houston. Isn't that ironic?
Oh, look at you! Yeah,
We won't
tell Coach Rose that's what your pick was. It's
well,
fine, so.
BYU's up there. I'm not discounting them.
And VCU's making a little bit of a run. BYU's up as much as 20. Now they're up 12, 62-50 over VCU with just about 9 minutes left in that one. So, Big T, we'll talk to you next week, man. Have fun with covering this team, and we'll catch up with you next week.
All right, guys. Thank you.
There you go. All you have to do is just go to jamfestutah.com, find out more about how to get on Thurl's 3-on-3 tournament right there, and dunk contests galore. That's one I'm not.
Get your friends together and go play some hoop.
I won't be a part of the dunk contest, but I will be in the pool. I will be at the pool party. All right.